This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill. Shout out to our friends from Surfside. No bubbles, no troubles. Today we've got a very special guest, guy who's played some events for us, a guy who's got some new music coming out. I've been loving the tunes he's been putting out, and native of Texas, got a new record, Lone Star, which we'll be getting into. We got Mr. Austin Michael.
Yes, sir.
Brother, how you doing?
Dude, wonderfully well blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Doing well, man.
I guess highly flavored too.
Highly flavored.
So what is this?
That is a Surfside. They say no bubbles, no troubles. It's a non-carbonated. You got the green tea flavor right there.
That's
so
sick.
It tastes like green tea with a little bit of vodka in it. So
Am I good?
Yeah, that's what it's there for, bub.
Dude, let's go.
That's what it's there for. It's got a little caffeine kick in it too. The
No
green
way,
teas
really?
do. Yeah, man. Natural green tea.
Dude.
And from what I'm told, you can barely taste the vodka. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an 8-pack of iced teas over there for you.
That's so cool.
We'll hook you up with that afterwards.
Way.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Of course, brother. So how you been?
Dude, great. I've just been really working on this album for a long time. I'm real excited to get it out, like, because it's a work in progress. You know, a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into a record. But dude, it's been what, 6-8 months I've been working on this. Really, if you go back to like the first song I wrote on it, 3 years. But back then I knew I was working towards a record. I just didn't know how fast it was gonna come. Like 3 years went by like that, dude. You move to Nashville, it's like time just speeds up. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just I moved here and I feel like it's been maybe half a year. It's been like 3. I'm like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, wow, I've been here a while.
Time flies, dude. It really does.
Man.
So tell me about the name of it going by Lone Star. Obviously, you're a Texas guy, but
Yeah, dude.
I feel like it's looking up at the stars as well, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's. I'm like a pretty philosophical guy, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like I like to keep things a little open ended and ambiguous. It's kind of open for interpretation. But man, like the way that I see it. Like the title Lone Star is one, of course, the title track is about Lone Star. But I see it as like, I mean, of course, I'm married, so I'm like, I have a relationship, so I'm not alone. But at the same time, when it comes to like being productive, there's just something about like being in my own space, like in my own head, that I kind of have to be in solitude, like to really be productive. And it's something me and my wife has had to learn a little bit. She's the best, man. She really understands. But it's about kind of like me having to be in my own head a little bit, and sometimes that makes you feel a little bit alone. But I understand that's like the necessity of how I needed to be productive.
And that's hard to find, especially living out here in Nashville, because there's
Dude.
so much going on. You're writing every day. You're hanging out with your homies. You got the wife at home.
Yep.
Like it's hard to get that. Sometimes when I get in my head, like alone space, it gets to be a scary place.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
absolutely.
you find out a lot about
It
yourself.
can be
just
self-deprecating
thinking.
if you're not careful. Like I'm a big believer. You know, I'm big in the Bible and everything. And there's a lot of verses that talk. I think if there's one of the most repeated lines in the Bible is "Do not fear," and it also talks about positivity. Like if there's anything positive, think on these things. I think that's in Proverbs. But yeah, man, I've tried to really work for as long as I can remember on being positive. Like just being like having a positive outlook and perspective on life. And I think the energy you put out is the energy you get back.
100%.
100%. And I just think like it that's not like that's not an easy realization to come to, you know? Like that took me a while to figure out, but I think just if you focus on the good things, it like life will just bring more of it. I think there's this one saying I heard this one saying I thought it was really cool. There's it's kind of a question, but there's a wolf chained in the dark and a wolf chained in the light. What one survives?
Probably the wolf in the light.
The one that you feed.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
What are you going to put, which basket are you going to put more of your eggs into?
Oh, 100%,
Like,
dude.
what are you going to,
Absolutely.
what are you going to cater to and show favoritism to?
100%, man. I think like whatever you focus on is what you're manifesting. And this is another quote, not to get too like
no, go for it, bro. No, I love it, man.
I
It's
love
cool.
this stuff.
I love this stuff. Yeah.
But this is a quote I think I read. Man, I hope I get this right. It's I think it's from like The Secret of Success, or might be Outwitting the Devil. That if you haven't read that book, dude, you have to go read it. I think it's written by Napoleon Hill. So good. But one of the quotes that I took away from it that I really kind of adhered to was, your subconscious mind endlessly works to transmute its dominating thoughts into their physical equivalent. So what it's saying is like, whether you realize it or not, your subconscious mind is consciously and always working on manifesting what your dominating thoughts are.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're always thinking about the negative side of things, what do you think you're manifesting? You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, not to get all hippy-dippy on you, dude, but I love that stuff.
I like it, man. I like it. If you weren't doing music, I could see you doing like being a teacher or like philosopher or something like that, bro.
Thanks, bro.
I did not know you had this side to you, bro.
Dude, and that's, what's so funny is I've been dying. Like, I love music. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love music, and that's my passion. That's what I do for a living. But one of the things that I love, I don't want to say even more, but is podcasts. I love talking with people. I'm a people's person, dude.
Yeah.
So and you'll learn I'm a talker. Like I could talk a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Those are my dream guests.
Yeah, right.
When I get a guest on here, they don't talk a lot. It's like I'm a dentist, like pulling the teeth out, But when you just go, the best podcasts are when you hear from the guest, man.
Right.
That's what it's all about for me.
Dude, I mean, I hope I can do that justice, but I've heard that a lot from guys like that, either podcasts or, man, what else? Like talk shows or something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever interviews, being on like the news, just in front of people. I always try to be myself. How would I be off camera? I try to be the same.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot that for some reason, like a lot of people will just kind of shut off, and they'll be like real closed off. Like, how was your day? Good. And that's like all you get, For me, you ask me how my day was, and I'll tell you like when I was born, how I'll go
I
all
love
the way
that,
back,
man.
dude.
So take me back. How do we say your hometown in Texas?
Van Alstyne.
Van Alstyne. Now, where is that at?
That's like, Dallas?
Yeah.
It's nowhere near there. It's like, I'm like.
Such a Texan thing to say.
Right.
Dallas, Houston, nowhere near there.
Yeah,
nowhere
man.
near either of those places.
I'm like, shoot, maybe. I can get miles wrong, but I'll just say time. I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So up near that Oklahoma line.
Almost, yeah. I'm almost an Okie, man. Yeah, it's pretty close, cutting it close.
Yeah, what was it like growing up out there?
Flat.
Flat tornadoes?
No, not too many of those. We've had a couple, but not anything too crazy. Actually, hold on. A couple years ago, we had this tornado run by. I wasn't there, but it ran through our property. We have like 30 acres.
Yeah, because you grew up roping and doing stuff with cattle, right?
Yeah, dude. I love that stuff, and that was my first passion. That's what I thought I was gonna do, is rodeo, but music got a hold of me first. But dude, the tornado, like this it was so windy and like so cloudy, you couldn't really see anything, but it was like, you definitely knew something was close. And there was like known tornadoes in the area. Well, this one like swept, must have come across the property, because dude, there was trees. I'm talking about like 3-4 foot in diameter pine trees that were ripped in half, like just literally pulled off out of the ground and thrown across the property. It was like insane. And actually a bunch of branches broke off of these trees and they went flying like darts. And one like impaled my we have like this little camper trailer. Yeah. That's like my dad's studio. It's like a hangout spot. And it like impaled the studio, dude, like a dart. Just like this whole branch just right through the camper's nuts.
Yeah, the power of those things is crazy, because we get them out here. We get the scares of them out here now. Yeah, which is wild, because it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, we're not really in Tornado Alley, are we?
It's like shifted over. Like Kentucky gets hit all the time, and Alabama and Mississippi, and we're like in between. But growing up, because I grew up in the Northeast, so for me, the whole idea of a tornado was like something I'd see in a movie. Yeah, but it's like dude,
it's so wild,
and it's like it could be on one street and not be on the other,
Yeah.
and just how direct their path is.
Oh, 100%. And what's the craziest part about them is you'd think like when it gets windy, that's when you have to worry. Dude, it's when it's dead silent. That's the scariest part. Because you'll be like on tornado watch or something. It'll be super windy. You're like, oh my God, we're in the middle of a tornado. No, like it's quite a ways out. Whenever it gets real still, that's when you got to worry.
Because it's sucking all that air.
Yeah, exactly. Because high pressure moves to low pressure, right? So if you kind of find like a little equilibrium and everywhere surrounding is high pressure, that's where the tornado comes. Like that's where it's gonna like funnel, you know. So that's what you got to watch for. We actually, when I moved here, we lived in an apartment on the 3rd floor, like the top floor, and we were like terrified that we were gonna get like just ripped out of our apartment and thrown across the city, you know. So we like went down in the stairwell and like stayed there. I had my ham radios and everything. I was listening to the radio, and we're just like, man, I hope everything is all right. And the surrounding areas ended up getting hit pretty hard. Like one of my buddy's houses got demolished.
Was that out in East Nashville?
Yeah, I think it was like, was it Nolensville? No,
Nolensville. Okay, so down more towards Antioch.
Okay, yeah, I think it was down that way.
Yeah,
a little bit. But yeah, dude, scary time.
Yeah, you were talking about the ham radio. You came in with a backpack with radios.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, "Is this guy? Are you like a park ranger on the side or something?" Explain to me what's going on with that bag. I think you got it next to you.
Yeah,
you can even pull some of it up if you want.
Yeah, I don't know where to
where to begin. You could do like right there and make sure that's in frame. Yeah, it's kind of in frame. So what all do you have in here?
Dude, I mean,
like,
I got like
this?
road flares. This is kind of my EDC.
What's EDC?
Everyday carry.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like this has got like little multi-tool stuff that I
Yeah.
use on a daily basis, kind of stuff like toothpicks, hot glue.
Yeah, you could survive in the wild with this thing, is what you're telling
that's
me.
the point.
That's
Yeah,
the
kind
point.
of.
If you have nothing, if you have none of the normal luxury stuff,
Yeah,
you have it all in this
100%. And most like it's kind of evolved a little bit to be a little more of just a pretty elaborate EDC. So it's not like if I needed to survive in the wild, it has the essentials.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna thrive in the wild with this. I have my other go bag.
Yeah.
That's like I have the hammocks, all the camping gear. I have like a portable battery that's like should last a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, like I'm crazy about
what
this stuff.
led you to have such an emphasis on the ultimate what if? 'Cause
Dude.
to me, the end of the doomsday stuff is the ultimate what if.
Oh, for sure. 100. I think a lot of it is just I don't know. I'm obsessed with like preparation. I want to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that kind of guy that's like, I'll just have so many unnecessary things on me. Like,
I like all your little patches on.
Thanks, bro.
Jesus,
Yeah,
I saw that.
that.
It's electric, bro. You can slide that back down now.
And
That's
then this,
awesome.
like,
yeah, what's that?
I gotta see the candy first, then I get in the van. I'm not stupid.
Show me the money.
Right?
Show me the
Isn't that
candy,
wild?
damn it. That's awesome. How long have you kind of had that passion or that drive to be super prepared? Or is that something that growing up on a ranch kind of taught you?
Dude, I think both. You know, I think I don't know what you'd call this, but I have like a tendency to get obsessed with things. Like ever since I was little, I would get interested in something, right? Like, for instance, one was archery. Like I was real big into archery, and then I have to like know everything about it. I started making bows. I started making arrows.
Wow.
Like the whole building the whole bit. I started making them out of plumbing pipe. Doing the whole thing, man.
Whatever you could get your hands on, and you're like, I can make something out of this.
Oh, 100%. I made my own little bow making jigs,
Wow.
like the whole bit, and I just get obsessed with it, and I get to a point where I'm like satisfied, where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm good enough at that, and then I move on to something like it just dies, like the passion just kind of dies for me, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's cool. What's next?
Yeah.
And dude, I went through like archery, hunting, fishing. Those aren't really hobbies; they were more of a lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
But dude, I even went through like skateboarding and scootering.
Yeah. How old are you?
23.
You're 23.
Just turned 23. Yeah.
Okay. Well, happy belated birthday.
Thanks, man.
But just turned 23. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking because I'll be 31 on Friday, so I'm about 8 years older than you. So we're like kind of the same generation, but there's a little bit of like a difference. And a lot of the folks around your age group grew up with the iPads and this and that. But it sounds like you were outside and you were very much the make your own fun out of whatever you could find.
Dude, 100%. I was the kid that was like, I found a few sticks and I'd figure out how to make like something out of it, you know, and whether it was just like for fun, like make my own little toys, like toy gun or something. But dude, I was also kind of like crazy. Like I feel like my parents were kind of like genuinely worried because sometimes, well, it was more often than not actually. When I was young, for years, I would wake up really early, and we had some property, you know.
Yeah.
So I had we had all sorts of guns, but I really used a lot of like pellet guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe a 22 on occasion. And then, you know, like when I went through the archery phase, I'd go out with a bow. But every morning, dude, I'd wake up with the sun, go outside and go hunting. And a lot of times before my parents were even up, I'd shot a squirrel or a rabbit or something.
Yeah.
And I would have it like killed, cleaned, and cooking on a fire by the time they get outside.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're like, I remember one time my dad walked out on the porch and I had like this fire and I had this like squirrel carcass just doused in barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And my dad was sitting there like, he walked out the door. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. Like, that's some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, dude. That's wild. And I'm just, I don't know where it came from, man.
I don't think it's Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. I think it's that you had an interest in that lifestyle.
I guess
and you just learned from a young. I mean, that's nothing I did being in New York. We didn't. We were running around killing squirrels. I hear the squirrels, if you prepare them right, are pretty good though.
Yeah, I quit eating like all the rodents and stuff. Dude, I ate everything when I was a kid. Like I never wanted to waste a kill. I would never just kill to kill, unless it was like a hog or something like a nuisance. And it wasn't like just the idea of it being a nuisance, something that was actively harming the
ripping
ranch.
up your fields.
Yeah, ripping up the fields, harming the livestock, like that kind of thing. That's where the protector in me comes out a little bit. But if I just went out to kill or I was hunting, I always try to utilize it. And that's I obsessed over the Native Americans because they would utilize every bit of the animal.
Every bit of their life came from the world that they lived in.
Yeah, and there was also like such deep gratitude. Like when they would have a kill, like even back in like the buffalo days, like they would go kill a buffalo, and they would skin it. They would use the hide. They would use the bones.
Yeah.
They would chew the sinew and use it as like adhesive and ties and stuff. Like they would utilize every bit of it. And not only that, but it was like a respect, like a genuine respect for the animal. Like thank you for providing.
Existing so I could provide for myself and those around me.
Yeah, and I just love that.
It kept their civilization going.
100%. And I think it's like it's a mutual respect where you're still able to live off the land and do what you need to do and go hunt, but then there's also like this accountability that's kind of goes with it, where you're like, you watch yourself from being too excessive, you know. Like nowadays it can get to the point where you're just like, oh, I want a bigger trophy on my wall, you know. And I mean, like, that's cool, but if I were to kill a trophy buck, I'm not saying I won't kill a trophy buck, I would absolutely do that, but if I do, I'm gonna use every bit of the animal. I'm not just gonna like kill it, get the trophy, and call it a day.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, man. I want to talk about some of the music stuff that you've got going on. Why Not Whiskey has been on repeat for me.
No way, really?
It's been on repeat because I've been saying we all love our sad country songs, and there's the different subsects of the genre. Obviously, you know, Nikki T and I with Raise Your Eye, we listen to a lot of music.
Oh, dude.
That's kind of what we do for a living. You know, it's fun. But I've been saying I've just been craving like the fun country songs.
Yeah.
And fun in that they make people want to dance. They make you want to crack open a cold Surfside, and just give you that feeling of like that 2000 stuff that we grew up on, the 2010s era that we grew up on. And Why Not Whiskey for me is like that. It's a honky-tonkin' fun country song.
Thanks,
so
bro.
Thank you for putting that out. And
absolutely.
It makes me happy that is like coming back. So talk about that song a little bit.
Dude, Why Not Whiskey was actually one of the first songs I wrote when I came to town.
Really?
Yeah. It was like one of the first five, maybe, I want to say. it was like I wrote it 3 years ago maybe, and we kind of got in the room, and that was kind of what I told him. I was like, look, I got with 2 other writers. I think it was Shane. Dude, I'm so bad with names. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're good. You had just gotten to town, got in the room with some
Joe
guys.
Clemens was one.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Love Joe.
Joe Clemens, Shane. I can't remember.
Was it Minor?
Minor.
Shane
Thank
Minor.
you, Shane Minor.
An OG who wrote a lot of those songs back in the day.
Yes, and I can't I'm so sorry to Shane, dude.
We love you, Shane Minor.
I know.
Thank you for writing all those hits.
I love that guy. I'm just so bad with names.
Yeah, it happens.
And I hadn't seen those guys for so long. I'm surprised I was able to remember them, but yeah, I was in the room with those guys, and I remember just getting in there and being like, man, we've had enough of the breakup stuff. And I was like, I just want to write something that's real. Let's write something that's fun. Let's like cut loose and just have fun with it. You know, like we don't have to write some crazy story. It doesn't have to be a heartbreak. And I also at the time was like very interested in, like, Hardy was very, very influential for me.
Yeah.
Like, inspired me a bunch. I love the way that he was able to storytell and flip a hook.
He's just a country boy poet.
Dude, oh yeah, like the best.
Yeah.
100%. It'd be like a dream right for me to get in the room with that guy.
Hear that,
Yeah.
Hardy,
Yeah,
big loud
dude.
tracker. We
Hit
got to
me
get
up, bro.
Austin in the room with Hardy.
Hit me up, dude. Let's do it. But yeah, he was like super influential at the time. Well, I mean, always. He always will be. But I remember I was listening to nothing but his stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just obsessed with how he could storytell and at the same time flip a hook. And so I was like, let's write something. If it has to be about a breakup, so be it. But let's like focus on the positive side, you know, kind of like what I was saying. Like, let's not drown in the self-pity and like, oh, it's so horrible. Let's like kind of one of those like shrug your shoulders, well, whatever kind of songs.
It's like
you
a
know?
Brad Paisley, I'm Gonna Miss Her, or
Yes.
Dierks Bentley, Somewhere on a
Yes.
Beach. I mean,
Dude.
Dierks was like the king of that stuff where
Oh
it
my
was like
gosh.
Drunk on a Plane. It's
Oh,
like
dude.
you're going on that honeymoon trip from the girl
Yeah.
that you broke it off with right before the big day.
It's so
And it's like a fun drinking anthem. but
Right?
it's about a breakup.
That's what I'm saying.
That's to me why
Yeah.
not whiskey?
Absolutely.
It's
And
that.
that's like, I just wanted to take, especially since like for some reason, there's just like a tendency to write breakup songs. I think because a lot of people are affected by it and a lot of writers are living that life, you know?
Yeah.
And so like it comes from a real place, which is what you want in a song.
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
But for me, when I'm like, I'm going to put my name on it and I'm going to be singing this, I want it to kind of be real. And, you know, I'm like happily married, so it's kind
Yeah.
of hard for me to sing breakup songs. So I remember at the time being very focused on trying to, like, if it was about a breakup, make it happy. Like, my first song that I released was Ain't Got Me, at least since I got to Nashville. And Ain't Got Me was about a breakup, but it's like, you have everything. You took my keys, you took my Netflix password, you took the like everything, but you don't have me. And it's like, it's your loss, not
Yeah.
mine. And it's kind of like a haha funny. And I just love that, like the I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah.
I love that stuff,
it's
dude.
the irony of
Yes.
the happy while
Yeah.
singing about the sad, but turning
Yeah.
into happy. And it's like the tempo and sonically, it's fun.
Absolutely.
Me and Nikki T like to call that cold beer country.
Okay.
That's what like it's the
Yeah.
songs that you picture in the honky tonk. I mean, even the bro country stuff factors into that. Like, I spent a lot of time back in my drinking days where I was at those FGL shows pounding Fireball at the tailgate, you know, and
Fireball.
it's like
Oh.
Fireball whiskey,
So good.
that old camp whiskey, their
Dude.
stuff. You know, we're manifesting an FGL comeback. Like
Oh,
Raise
for
Rowdy,
sure.
we successfully with our buddy Brian Fraser brought back the butt rock stuff, where we were doing memes about Creed and Nickelback and all that like
Heck
4 or
yeah.
5 years ago, and now
Okay.
it's like that's all back. We're like,
Oh, dude.
we gotta have some part in the FGL,
Dude,
comeback.
so many people hated on FGL and
just like they hated on Nickelback and Creed and Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit. You
but
know,
they're like household names, you know, like there's whether you like them or not, like they were so unbelievably influential to the
Yeah.
whole country
and look
music.
at the guys; they were that bridge between Aldean and Luke Bryan and Dirks
Yeah.
in that era to
Absolutely.
Wallen, Hardy, Ernest, Kane Brown, all the
Bro.
stuff that came after him. You don't
100%.
have Morgan Wallen
Dude,
without
yes.
Tyler Hubbard and Brian
That's
Kelly.
exactly what
You
I was about
don't.
to say. Yes. It's like if it weren't not even just because like he went out on tour with them and that's like kind of where he started, but also and like he started writing with them.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to sign to like their Tree Vibes or something
he
like
was
that.
under Tree Vibes, which was under the Big Loud stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So like they kind of took him under their wing. So we wouldn't have Morgan if it weren't for them. I mean, he could have found his own way, but at least the way he did come about, like we wouldn't have had that. And all things aside, man, like I love their sound. I think it's killer.
The boundaries that they pushed, sonically,
yeah,
and it took country and made it even more of a party because it's always
100%.
had that party element to it, you know. Even the sad songs, like people get drunk to "Mama Tried" by Merle Haggard, and they always will.
Family tradition,
exactly. You know, like the classic stuff like that, man. What's it like for you being an independent artist and the fact that you've hit over 8 million streams in the last 12 months? Like,
thank you.
That's very impressive. But what's it like doing it with a small team and really betting on yourself?
Man, it's a journey for sure. It's just you kind of have to be borderline delusional, like which is kind of weird for me to say, but you have to be like you have to believe in yourself so much to the point where it's like, especially in like social media days now.
Yeah, dude.
There's such an overabundance of content, and you're trying to make your video one of the top 10, 20, even 50 in the how many millions of videos that are posted a day is crazy. And then like say you get 0 views on a video or a couple hundred views on a video or something, you're like, what the heck? You know, like that didn't work. You have to be able to look at that and go, I don't care what anybody says. That's cool. You know, and I think that it's that mentality, maybe. It's that mentality you have to have that's just very resilient and like unwavering. And, but all things, mentality aside, I think it's been fun, man. I like really enjoy, like I have a management team and they've been very supportive and they believe in the music just as much as I do, which helps definitely.
You need your champions.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Because after so long of like writing and pitching songs, cutting songs, and you just don't get the recognition maybe or the kickback that you expected. It's just like it's very easy to get down about it, but you just have to be strong.
And especially when you're talking about being alone in your head.
Exactly.
That can be a dangerous place for any artist because then on the flip side, it's like you sign a record deal and you do all this stuff, but then you think it's going to work because there's people telling you it's going to work and then it doesn't work. I feel like that's almost even a worse place to be.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I have like sympathy for a lot of those guys, and that's why it's been so important to me because we've been presented with a couple offers.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that it's the right one. Yeah. You know, like I don't want to be I've always said I'm not going to take the first deal that comes across my desk just because it's the first deal. I want to make sure that the people, I've always said this is what I need from a deal in order to accept it, is that I need a team that one has the capabilities, like the relationships or whatever, the financial backing, whatever it is, the capabilities to make something big. And then second, which is most important, the willingness to utilize those capabilities, because sometimes you'll have people that are capable of it, just won't do it. And I need, from a team, I need somebody that's capable and willing to utilize that capability. And then what to me is the most important is they genuinely believe in what we're doing. And that's like not trying to make a quick buck, not like I see the numbers on that are doing good. We can hop in, maybe throw a little bit at it, make a little bit of kickback. That's cool and that's great and good on them. But for me, when I'm just looking at what's best for my career, because I'm running a marathon, dude. I'm not running a 100-meter dash, you know.
And you're 23. You're just getting
started. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, dude, I'm doing everything I can, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can for as long as I can, and as long as I need to until I find those people. But it's just that's really important to me. Is I need somebody that is going to be able to look at a song that we put out and maybe it didn't get the kickback we thought it would.
In my head, it sounds like a partnership.
100%.
And you want to have good partners.
Absolutely.
And just like you have with your wife. Sounds like she's a great partner and she's your other half and she compliments you just like you compliment her. Your management team.
Yeah.
They champion you and they're partners in the business that you're the CEO of.
100%.
You're the CEO of this thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you're looking for the right partners to help take your
100%.
company, which is your brand and your music, to the next level.
And that's so funny that you kind of drew you kind of compared the relationship between an artist and management, or an artist and the label to marriage, because I was just talking to my manager the other day. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, it's kind of like a marriage. Like, you're kind of like married to each other in a way, like you kind of put up with each other's crap.
Yeah.
And because you're in it for the bigger picture. You know, you're both equally bought in, and you're both like, you both want it just as bad. And I think that's so important, dude. And he, like, my manager called it a marriage almost. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's so funny. That
it's investing in something that you guys can achieve together.
100%.
And that's what management is. And you and your wife invest in each other to live the best life that you can while you're on this earth.
Exactly.
You know, it's
absolutely.
To me, it's a very similar like comparison.
Yeah.
So some of these songs that we've got coming out before the record, which I can't wait for it to come out. I think it'll be announced by the time we release this podcast. So we'll say March 6th it comes out, which is going to be sick. You have coming out this Friday from when we're recording. It'll be out by the time this comes out. Back in the Saddle.
Yeah.
Tell me about that one.
Dude. So that one was
I like the title. I mean, it's
man.
out. It's one that's been out there before. But with you being a guy that grew up on a ranch, but I'm sure there's like a twist to it.
Yeah.
I feel like there is.
Yeah. Well, what's so crazy is that is probably the realest song that I've ever written, because what's funny is, like, I was hanging out with a buddy, and we just went and got like a bottle of Crown, and we're like just hanging out, having a good time, and he starts playing this lick, and it's the lick on Back in the Saddle, you know, and I just heard that, and I pulled my phone out and hit record, and I just went off. I like freestyled like 40% of it right off the bat, because it was one of those moments, and this is one that I've learned you can't force. Like, you just cannot force creativity, and especially when it comes from a real place. And this, like, he played that lick, and dude, I'm telling you, like, this song just fell out. It just like poured out of me, and it's about pretty much moving to Nashville and leaving my old life behind, and kind of the sadness associated with that. Like, I thought I was gonna go into rodeo. I thought I was gonna rope and ride, and like I thought that was gonna be my life, and I was gonna be close to family, and I'm very family oriented.
Yeah.
So I thought that I was gonna be back in Texas rodeoing and doing that whole thing, and then I moved to Nashville, and as much as I love music and as much as I love Nashville, it's just I miss home. Yeah. You know, it's hard to say it any other way, and getting back in the saddle was just like a way for me to put that idea, like bottle that idea. And I thought this was funny. I never really thought I would be missing work. Like, I never really thought I would be missing roping or riding or working on the ranch. Like, I think it says getting back in the saddle, back to my roots, putting boots in the gravel, and just like working on the ranch, like the everyday life, man. Like, maybe a pipe was busted, or livestock got caught in a fence,
or you're building a fence, or putting this up, or putting a paddock here, or this or that. There's
something always going on there, and for some reason I enjoyed that, man. I really did, and I enjoyed working with livestock. I enjoyed every bit of it. So it's just like, it's a little bit of me reminiscing and going, man, it's sad that I'm not doing that anymore, but I'm also working towards that. Like, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going with music. So that kind of keeps me grounded, because I'm going to be here for as long as I need to make this happen. And then once I have enough, I mean, I'm never going to stop doing music. I'm always going to do music, but once I have enough money, I'm going to buy a ranch, and I'm going to get back to that lifestyle, dude. Yeah. I want to be the guy that's real. I don't want to be somebody that's like sings the songs about it and then doesn't really do it. Right now, I feel like that kind of guy. I feel like a poser because I'm living in Nashville.
But you did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
You did
used
do
to.
it. So that's the thing. To
100%.
me, it's like you're singing about the stuff that you know. Like
Yeah.
we go back to that 2000s era with the comparisons. Like Luke Bryan singing, even though he was living in Nashville, singing about that Muckley Creek water. Or
You know, that is a good way to put it.
You know,
yeah.
it's like you're singing about the stuff that you grew up with.
Yeah, you know, that's
You know,
actually,
it's you're singing about your version of nostalgia. Like my version of nostalgia would be going to a Yankees game or going to that local pizzeria that was in the same strip mall as the movie theater and not being old enough to drive, so I'd walk from my house to my buddies, you know, be like singing about that. Now I'm not living in New York. I'm living in the South. I can't go.
You're from New York?
Yeah, I grew up about 30 minutes outside New York City.
No
so
way.
It's like I grew up like I'm not out here singing about that. Like, or talking or living or covering New York media. Like, I still listen to all the New York sports stuff or whatever, but I can talk about it because I did live it, even though I've been living here for 7 years. You can talk about the rodeo stuff growing up right near that Okie, right near that Red River, you know? It's
the
like,
red dirt.
Yeah, the red dirt, but even like how they talk about the Red River that runs through, you know? You're like, you can talk about all that stuff because you did live it. You can talk about being a kid, running around with your first pellet gun, upgrading to a 22, because you did that stuff, man. You know, so I wouldn't feel like a poser because you're not doing it currently, because you sing about the stuff that you know, and you spent it sounds like 20 years living and doing that stuff.
Well, dude, actually, thank you for saying that. That's a really cool perspective, because for some reason, maybe it's just like, it's the earning inside me that wants to do it.
Yeah, dude,
you know?
and being here, it's like we're in a bubble. You know, Nashville feels like a bubble.
Yeah.
And when I first moved here, I would go visit home and whatever, and I'd have FOMO of missing Whiskey Jam or missing this thing's going on, or I'm missing this pop-up show at so-and-so's bar. You know, because we don't realize, like, I feel like I'm out of the bubble now because I've traveled a bunch with doing the music stuff. But it's like when you're here, especially when you first get here, those first couple years, which is where you're at, it feels like you really are out of touch with like the outside of Nashville scene. You know? So I get why you would feel how you feel about missing home and all of that, because we're kind of isolated in 100%. What's happening in town.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And I think like you kind of purposely immerse yourself in what's going on in Nashville so you can kind of stay up to date and, you know, keep up with the Joneses a little bit and kind of keep up with everybody else. I've always been bad at that. I've always been so bad at like the sports, and I've never been interested in those kind of things, which is funny coming from Texas. Like,
but you're interested if Browning comes out with the new model of a rifle, you're going to know the specs of that thing inside and out, and you're going to try and get on a pre-order list for it, you know?
For sure. And my buddy Barrett just actually came out with, I think they call it like the Mach 22 or something like that.
I would have no idea what you're talking about. Like everybody's different and has their things, you know? So I wouldn't say you're bad about the sports thing. It's just you're into different
into
shit.
something
else.
You're
into
I
different
love that.
stuff, man.
Dude, I love those are two really good perspectives.
Yeah,
that,
man.
Like, maybe it's like the FOMO of like me wondering if I'm missing out, but just not really caring.
I would say you're not really missing out on much. You got a great wife. You guys got kids yet?
No, she's definitely got the baby fever. So
okay,
yeah, it's coming.
But I say that to say you've got a great wife. You've got a great life.
Thanks,
you're living your dream. You're getting ready to put out a damn record. Like,
dude, right?
Life is great.
Isn't life
you
nuts?
know? But we still have that yearning of like the FOMO. Like FOMO still manages to be a thing.
I think it's just like the human mind. Like the Bible says, like the eyes of man will never be satisfied. So like you're always wanting to do better. And I think there's a part of that that's good. It's like striving to be better, to become something better. And I think that's important to have, but at the same time being able to balance it with the ability to appreciate what you already have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not getting so caught up in the destination that you forget to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something that I'm endlessly working towards getting better at, you know, because I think you can always get better.
Hey man, it's a balance. Are you a New Year's resolution guy?
Kind of. I mean,
or goals. What were the goals for now that we're in January of 26, which still blows my mind? It's 2026. I keep saying, like we talk about like our festivals that we do over the summer, and I'm like, oh, next year's festivals next year. I'm like, oh man, it's 2026. It's this year's
2016. Festival. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah,
like it's crazy to say that 2016 was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's
like
wild.
I think that was it 2016, 2018 when FGL was like going crazy.
2016 was like that was when
like
whole
Cruise.
that was so Cruise came out 2012.
Oh,
I remember
dang, it was
that. I remember
long
that
ago.
because that was my senior year. That was my senior year
wow.
of high school and then my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
I saw FGL 7 times from 2013 to 2015.
Dang,
Yeah,
that's
they came up north
wild.
a lot. But what were some of the goals for you this year?
Man, I think just make everything a little better. I want to be a better son. I want to be a better husband. I want to work on being. I'm not a dad yet, but I mean maybe to a dog. I'm a dog dad.
Yeah.
So I mean I want to work on being better for everybody around me. Because I can be. I don't want to say I can be difficult, but I can definitely have my times. Where I could be better, and I want to work on that. But when it comes to like goals and career wise, I can see us getting signed this year. If it's God's will, we'll see. Maybe not. But those are all kind of things that I don't want to like associate success with. What I want to do is I want this record to go gold. That's my goal. Like it might not be this year, but that's what I'm going to be working towards endlessly. And I think it's whether it's with a label or independent, like 100%. That's my goal is to get this record to at least go gold because I want a gold plaque, man. Like once I have that, I'm like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's like maybe just a physical representation of kind of accepting like, hey, you can do this. It's a hard idea or emotion maybe to bottle or convey, but yeah, I'd say that's what I'm working towards. I want this record to hit 100 million streams. However, I need to do that, man. But that's what I'm working towards.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you gotten to go out and do a lot of shows on the road yet, or is that?
Yeah. Thanks to my management, I was able to land a few tours with Justin Moore and Randy Houser, Joe Nichols.
What were those like,
dude?
And which one came first? What was the first?
The first tour, I actually just made a plaque that I put on the wall because I'm a very like sentimental guy.
Yeah, dude, it's cool to have that stuff.
And I'm like, I love memories. I think memories are the thing that we all like value more than we realize.
Yeah,
because I think like physical things or presents or gifts or whatever are nice, but you forget about those. Like if to put it in perspective, like birthdays, I could buy you something for your birthday, or we could go take a trip to Colorado and go skiing.
Yeah.
You're never going to forget that trip.
Yeah.
You might forget the whatever I get you.
The material thing.
Yeah. But I'm so sorry.
What was the first tour you went on? You just made a plaque for
Dude,
it.
See, I'm so crazy. I can
you're good,
get
buddy.
off on a tangent. But the first tour I went on was Justin Moore and Randy Houser. That's what it was. Justin Moore and Randy Houser was first. That was 2024, I believe.
Okay, so coming up on 2 years ago.
Yeah. Late 2024, maybe 2025. The second one I know was 2025. Yeah. That was Joe Nichols. And
now, what
Justin
show
Moore.
experience had you had before that?
Dude, I played a lot in Texas.
You did? Okay.
Dude, I was my own. Before I moved to Nashville, like I was wearing all the hats, man. I was like the creative director, the songwriter, the producer, the content guy. I was like the editor, the marketer, the booking agent, the label, everything.
You were the independent artist.
Yeah, the independent. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, dude, me and my grandma was like my first booking agent, which is so funny. She literally got a book of every single venue in Texas, and we called every number in that thing, dude.
Wow.
Every number. And I was like, hey, my name's Austin Michael. This is my rate. This is what I'm doing. I just put this, at that time, I think I just put an album out because I wrote this album when I was like 15 and recorded it in a barn and put it out. And like, I was like, because I thought like an album is what artists do, like I didn't really understand the concept of singles. I was like, an album is what we're doing. Ironic part of the whole thing is that whole album I wrote about who's now my wife. I just met her at the time, and I like wrote this whole album about her, and then we ended up getting married. I thought it was pretty cool. But
that's very cool.
But yeah, man, like I called every venue in Texas, and I played a lot. I mean, I was playing. That was the only thing I did really outside of working on the ranch. That was how I made a living. Was gigging, dude. I mean, I was up doing the late nights, like midnight to 2 a.m. Sometimes I would even like, I don't know if this is like legal or
No, you're good.
but I was like kind of avoiding the answering what like my age when they would ask me how old I was.
Yeah, because you wanted the opportunity to play, and
Yeah,
you weren't
'cause-
in there starting any problems. You were up there to play guitar.
Exactly. And when you're like 15, you know, if I'm like, oh, I'm 14 or 15, some of them were fine with it.
Yeah.
But some people would just be like, oh, we can't have that in the bar or whatever.
Even though you're not touching a beer.
Yeah. Well, I never drank before I was legally able to. Yeah.
See, I feel like that makes a lot of sense, though, that you were gigging young because, and I feel like that gives such a leg up because there's so many guys and girls that have that social pop that blow up on a TikTok or an Instagram or a YouTube Shorts or a Facebook or whatever, mostly TikTok, and they've never played a show, and then they're getting booked because they're able to sell tickets, but they don't know how to be in front of people.
Yeah.
And that to me is something that's becoming lost because it used to be you broke an artist
100%.
by getting that guy or girl on the road.
Absolutely.
And to start at a young age, I feel like that story used to be very common.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like a lost art where it's kind of reversed now.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think like social media is definitely, I don't want to say throwing a wrench in the whole process, but it's definitely changed the country music industry for sure in a lot of ways. But yeah, in good ways, I mean, it gives the people that wouldn't have had an opportunity to get out there.
Yeah, there's more power to the artists through
100%.
social media.
100%.
There's more power, which works in the independent artists.
Yep.
And also for the consumer, because they're not just having to listen to whatever's on the radio or whatever's coming through.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
can find it wherever. And no matter what community you grow up in, you got internet nowadays.
Yeah,
almost
man.
everybody has one of these, you know,
Oh,
where it's like it's such a great medium and like a broadcasting channel to get your stuff out there. But there's so many guys and girls that they have their moment online.
Yeah.
They don't know how to be on a stage. And now it's like you've had some moments pop online, but you know how to be on a stage. You've been doing that thing a long time.
Yeah, man. And I 100% agree with you, man. I think the showmanship is something that's not necessarily becoming forgotten because I think anybody that's going to have a long career in music is going to have to either be good at it or get good at it.
Yeah.
But showmanship is definitely a huge part of it. And I've always been a people's person. So I can almost kind of be a jerk when I get on stage because I'm like the guy that's like, I'm not going to sing this song to you guys. I hear every one of you guys
It's called
clapping.
working a crowd, brother.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
not a problem at all.
I'm just
You're
like,
working
hey,
a crowd.
I'll like point them out too sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, because I know if you get one person, all you need is one person to start clapping, then you got the whole crowd. That's all you need. And a lot of times, especially when you're like first like walking on, playing a few songs, they don't really know who you are, where you come from, if they jive with you or not. And you kind of got to force yourself into their bubble in a way. You're like, hey, I'm playing this song. Like, I know you know it. Sing along. Come on. Like, let's have a good time. You have to, like, invite them to have a good time.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Especially as an opener where they might not be
Dude, for
familiar with
sure.
you. What was that experience like of doing the opener thing in front of two guys that you grew up listening to, Randy
Dude,
and Justin?
that was, like, mind-boggling to me. Because, like, going on tour, Justin Moore was ruling. Justin Moore and Jason Aldean were ruling the radio. And Randy Houser were just, like, dominating radio when I was growing up. Like, the ones that didn't make it back home and
Out in
Small
the
Town
Backwoods.
USA. Yeah, Backwood, dude. That song, have you seen that live?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Bro, insane. They do like this little, I'm not going to ruin their
Yeah.
set. Oh, so good. If you haven't seen it, Justin, so you have to.
Yeah.
And that's one of the coolest things about going on tour was I was able to like not only be the guy up on stage, but I was a consumer. I was like I was the audience, dude. And I would go out. What's so funny, I would walk directly off stage out into the crowd. And not just to mingle and talk with everybody, but to see the show. Like every show, I've seen it 100 times.
And you
but I still go out.
probably pick up on things.
Oh, 100%.
As a guy who's coming up right now, learning from some legends.
Oh, yeah. But sorry, to answer your question back to like, how was that, like learning how to do that, man? It's definitely a process, kind of like learning that you are, I don't want to say the underdog, but you are kind of like, nobody really knows who you are. So you kind of got to make your presence known.
You got to win them over.
Yeah, you have to. And I mean, I don't, in the most humble way possible, I think I'm pretty good at that. You know, I think mainly because I'm a people's person and I just enjoy relationship. I'm one of those guys that's like, just because I'm on stage doesn't mean that I'm like putting on some show and I'm like pretending that I'm better than all y'all. Like, I'm here with you. I want to sing these songs with you.
Yes.
Like, let's have a good time. I'm not standing on the stage because I think I'm better than you. I'm just wanting to have a good time with you, you know? And so it's I don't know, man. I never really had too much of an issue because, and if I did, I'd kind of like stop and just be like, all right, I'm not gonna play until you guys, every one of you guys are clapping or singing this song with me, you know. And a lot of times I'll like mess with them. I'll play like Pickup Man or something. Just something women like about a, you know, and then just like stop. And I'm like, oh wow, like you guys really don't know Pickup Man. Like that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know this one, I don't know if we can be friends. You know, and you kind of poke at him a little bit, and then they're like, okay, this guy's cool. He's not just like some jerk on stage, like trying to shove his music down our throat. He's trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
And get
How
to know
long
people.
were those sets? They were like what, like 15, 30 minutes, 45s?
Yeah, about 30, 45 minutes.
Okay, that's a pretty good amount of time to be up
man.
there.
I mean, my favorite set is, I don't know. I mean, 30 is really strong because you can pack all your the best songs into that. But now I've written so much, man. I feel like 45 minutes to an hour, I can pack a pretty good show.
Have you gotten to do the headline thing yet? Or not a ton?
I played one show. It was a showcase. I played one headlining show, and I don't think we packed it out, but it was more than I expected. At Exit In, like it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, it's tough to go out there and do the headlining thing right now because the clubs, like that's the world that I came from. I was a tour manager and on the road with different bands for about 5 years.
Were you really?
So so a club, doing all the clubs around the United States. And the club shows just they don't seem to be as many of them, and it's harder to sell tickets now because of all the festivals, which we love our festivals. We do a lot of work with them, but like the festivals and then like the bigger scale shows, it's like the people don't seem to be coming out for the $15 to $25 ticket like they used to.
Dude, and I think COVID really had a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
I think just the idea of like the fear mongering that came along with COVID, just like really. It affected a lot of people, especially, dude. I mean, you're forcing the young generation to be like you're forcing them to be introverted. Yeah. Like they didn't get to experience the outside world for a long time, you know, for a few years of the most vital part of their life, like where their brain is still like developing. And I think that along with social media and cell phones have really like affected people's like want to go out. Like their just willingness maybe to go out.
The live experience is different now than it
100%.
was before. Did you grow up going to concerts and stuff?
You know, no. I never did. I was always like, I lived under a rock, bro. I lived on the range.
You were on a bunch of acreage.
And I was like, why pay? Why? I was such a redneck. I was just like, why pay $50 to go see it live when I could just watch a video of it live after for free, you know?
Yeah.
And dude, I definitely did. I watched live shows of Morgan Wallen before he was big. Like back in 2016, 2017, when he was like playing the small shows and stuff like that. I remember watching him on YouTube and his live set and how he interacted. And to see him grow has been crazy. But along with everybody else, I watched live shows of all my favorite artists, like Justin Moore and Jason Aldean and all those guys, man. I really enjoyed the showmanship part of it. But no, I never really experienced concerts. The first one I experienced was, I think it was a Jason Aldean concert, and I was like,
yeah, they're fun.
This is what it's about, you know? Yeah. And I went with my manager, was like, you've never been to a show before? I was like, no. I mean, I was always like, I've been to a show. I've played shows.
Yeah. I
just never went to be in the audience of a show necessarily or a concert. And so he's like, we're going to this show. And I was like, all right. And we show up, and I was just like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed the whole time. I was like, holy smokes. Like, this is what I'm doing it for. Like, these people right here screaming these lyrics back to this guy because it affected them somehow, some way. that's what the dream is, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing this for. I love it.
That's awesome, man. I have on here about you knocking on doors and sleeping in your car.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me about what was happening with that.
Bro, that's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short.
We got time.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I hope you booked out the rest of your day, because this is like,
yeah.
But dude, what's so funny is I never really thought I was gonna come to Nashville, and I actually said that. Like, I was a Texas guy. I'm staying in Texas, staying home. Like I said, very family oriented. So I didn't want to disassociate with family or like separate from family. So I was like, no, I'm staying here. This is where I'm gonna build a family. This is where like I was super stubborn. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make it happen here. And I put a lot of extra workload on myself because I was having to be the manager and the booking agent and the producer. I had to learn to produce to, do my own music. But man, sorry, what was the...
Sleeping in your car, knocking on doors.
Dude, so sorry. The way... I'm trying to wonder how I get into this, because it's a long story, but I'll just tell you the part first, and then I'll tell you how I got there.
Was it while you were here in Nashville, or was it back in Texas? It was here?
No, it was here in Nashville. So I didn't really think I was going to go to Nashville. I didn't really want to, and I got pushed to. And I'll tell you kind of a little bit more about that in a minute, but I got pushed to come here, and when I did... like I said, I'm super stubborn, and I didn't have that much money, and I just saw the prices of Airbnbs and hotels, and I was like, like hell, I'm paying that. Heck no. So I'm like, I'll just sleep in my car. I don't care. So I would find hotel parking lots, where I could sleep in that you didn't have to pay. Dude, I would drive till 2 a.m. in the morning trying to find a parking lot that you didn't have to pay $5 to park at, because I was that cheap.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And I would sleep in these parking lots. And I would have rights every day, and I would go into the hotel and in the morning, and it was kind of like strategic, because I'd walk in, go to the bathroom, right? I'd have like my little toiletry bag with like my toothbrush and everything, and I'd go get my hair wet in the sink, and I'd spend a little bit of time in the bathroom, so the people that just saw me walk in aren't gonna like... I kind of give them time to kind of leave or move around, or there's different people in there, By the time I come back out, my hair's all wet. Looks like I just took a shower, coming down from my room, grab some breakfast and a coffee, go to my right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I survived out here for like a week. But yeah, man, I mean, like, I kind of roughing it, but I enjoyed it. I would like stay up late at night because I couldn't sleep because of all the noise, and go live, play on a TikTok live. I'd roll the window down on the driver's side, crack the window just a little bit, and stick the neck of the guitar out there so I could play.
Wow.
And then sometimes, like, some parking lots had security guards, like, driving around, and sometimes I would be in a parking spot maybe I wasn't supposed to be in, and just to be safe, I would time it. About every 5 to 10 minutes, the security guard would come around, and I would, like, pull the guitar back in. And it's so funny because all these people on live are just seeing me every 5 to 10 minutes go like this. And I'm like, I'm getting low and like getting my guitar down.
Yeah.
They're like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, sorry, the security guard. And I go back to playing for another 5-10 minutes. And then I got like to the point where I could time like 1-2 songs and then have to duck again. And yeah, dude, I'd do that all night. And then I'd get in the back, lay down, go to sleep, wash up in the morning, go to my right. That's like,
wow.
Yeah, I did that for a week and a half or so. And the story of how I got there was, like I said, I was kind of wearing all the hats. I was doing everything myself. And my dad at the time was doing some business with some guys, and he happened to be in the room with John Daly. And for some godforsaken reason, they gave my dad the aux. My dad is like not a music consumer, like never has been. He owns one song, and that's Ring of Fire. Like, if you give my dad the aux, like, you're in for it, dude. Yeah. Like, you're hearing Ring of Fire on repeat, right? So my dad, like, he gets the aux. I guess plays the one song that he has. And then he's like, well, don't have anything else. And he didn't have any subscription, deals. So he was like, all right, I guess I'll just start playing Austin's demos, because I would send him all my demos, So he just starts playing all my demos. And then rumor has it, that John... in John Daly fashion, was like sitting at the end of the table. There's a whole bunch of people there, and he just told everybody to shut up. He was like, whoa, shut up. Who is this? And my dad was like, well, that's my son. And he was like, give me the phone or give me the speaker. And supposedly he held the speaker up to his ear and listened to the song like 3 or 4 times on repeat. And like all the way through. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning at this time. And I'm at home working on a song in the studio. I get a call from a random number and a text from my dad that says, answer it. And I was like, okay, well, this must be serious. And so I answer the call and I hear, listen here, mother, Yeah. And I'm like, it's, that's John Daly for you. And I'm like, whoa, who is this? He's like, it's John Daly. He's like, where are you? I said, I'm at home. He goes, where's home? I said, Texas. He goes, you need to get your ass in Nashville yesterday. And I said, no, sir, I'm a Texas cat. I'm staying in Texas. And he goes, like hell, hangs up on me, calls his buddies in Nashville, schedules me 3 rides, and calls me back, goes, hey, you have 3 rides in Nashville, better be there. I was like, really?
Uncle John.
Dude, John Daly Publishing is how I got to town. So
Have you still like kept in touch with
JD?
man,
I'll hit him up. Like he was just in that Happy Gilmore movie and I'll hit him up there. I'm like, dude, those lines are hilarious. I had no idea it was in the movie. Yeah. And then I see him and I'll go to like one of his golf tournaments or something like that every once in a while. Like there's like Big John I don't know if it's John Daly tournaments, but like he'll be at Good Boy events sometimes or, and I'll kind of coordinate with him. I think he's actually working on an album. He just sent me his album the other day. It's pretty cool, dude. That's wild. He did I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he did a cover of an old country song that I really love. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. Sick. Dude. He's such a cool dude. Yeah. Like genuinely one of the coolest guys I've hung with.
Yeah. He's a one of a kind, man. He really is. So we know Lone Star's coming out March 6th.
Yes, sir.
What do you hope people get from that record? Like, what do you hope it makes somebody feel, and how would you kind of summarize how important this album is to you?
Yeah, man. I hope people feel seen from this. I feel like if there's some folks out there like me, I have a tendency to get in my own head, and sometimes that makes you feel alone. And I almost, it's a necessity for me. I have to be in that state of mind sometimes in order to be productive. And sometimes it can lead to self-deprecation. It can lead to like negativity or pessimism. And it's like, I try to steer away from that. And I'm also big in like philosophy and stoicism. And so there's a few stoic songs on there, like Cowboys Don't Act Like That. But I just hope that these songs can speak to people and help them through a time, maybe help like allow them to feel seen. Like I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? And then I kind of wanted a variety. I wanted a little bit of all the emotions. I kind of wanted to take them through a journey, like Cowboys Don't Act Like That is actually a true, it's about stoicism, but then at the end of the song it flips and it's like, well, I did do the things you aren't supposed to do technically. Yeah. And I ended up getting the girl, it's kind of the story, but I kind of wanted to go through all these different emotions and kind of take these people through a journey and in hopes that 1, they feel seen, and 2, like a part of that journey is like self-realization, like realizing who you are, where you come from, sticking to your roots, being proud of it, like instead of feeling like you need to fit in with everybody, maybe just own the fact that you're a lone star, like even though sometimes you can feel alone, that doesn't mean that you are. Yeah. And that's kind of what I hope to get across with people. Yeah. And maybe that's my message, but at the same time, I want them to be able to kick the record on. I want them to be able to have a good cry. I want them to be able to reminisce and have a little bit of nostalgia. And then I want them to be able to kick back and drink a beer and have a good time, So like, and another thing that was important to me about this record is I wanted people to hear, I wanted to keep it very real and pretty raw, and kind of like country music. I kind of wanted to record it like an older record with hints of modern stuff, and just staying true to who I am, even if it's weird. But one of the things that were really important to me is I wanted people to hear this and go, that's a sick record, but I have to hear that live. Like, I just have to go to a show. That's what I hope people get from this is 1, feeling seen, and like maybe helping them in their own self-development journey, and encourage them to get out to a show, man.
Awesome, dude. Well, hey, I can't wait to get out to a show, brother. I'm very excited, and can't wait for Lone Star to be out, bro.
Me either, dude. It's like I'm waiting, counting down the minutes.
It's almost like the birth of a child.
Kind
You
of.
put a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
about 8-9 months. You said you worked.
Yeah,
on it?
right. Yeah, I mean, if
So-
you go back to the first song we wrote on the record, it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And a fun story about back on a bar stool, which is one of the first songs that might be the first song. No, Why Not Whiskey was. Back on a bar stool was shortly after that. And that was my first song that people freaked out about. And they were like, whoa, don't send this anywhere. We're sending this to Jason Aldean or this guy. And it got pitched to Jason Aldean, and some guys tried to get it to Morgan. I don't know if it ever got there. But, and at the time I was like, that was like the song for me. And I was like, no, I don't want them to cut it. I want to cut it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like my baby at the time,
Yeah.
you know? But after writing more and understanding, getting kind of in the industry a little more, I understand that's kind of a given. Like,
that's not a bad thing.
it's
for it
not
to
a
be
bad
getting
thing. It's a
pitched.
great thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually important to, especially the songs that you might not cut, because there's so many songs that you write all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no way that you could release all of them. So I definitely want, like, if I had it my way, every one of my songs would be released. And, like, either me or by another artist.
Yeah.
That'd be killer.
That would be killer.
And I have a few on hold right now that I'm pretty
That's
excited
awesome,
about,
buddy. Well,
but-
we'll talk about that off the mic.
Heck
for,
yeah,
for
dude.
sure, dude. Well, hey, I appreciate the hell out of you coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing and hanging out. And dude,
bet,
I'm
dude.
very excited for where 2026 is going to take you. It's going to be
Me too,
a
man.
good freaking year. The year of Lone Star. I am stoked, brother.
I
I'm
love
stoked.
it. Dude, thank you so much for having me on. It means the world. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk and kind of speak my mind a little bit.
Bro,
share,
absolutely, man. That's what it's all about.
Share what I've been working towards. So, dude, I really appreciate it. Love what you're doing here, and I'm looking forward to the next year, and looking forward to watching this podcast. See
Yeah,
where
dude.
where
Oh
you
man,
go
it's
this next
gonna
year.
it's gonna be fun. You can do it and enjoy some surf sides. I got an 8-pack
Heck
for
yeah,
you over there.
dude.
You can take that home with
Heck
you.
yeah.
Y'all be sure to check out our boy Austin Michael. Lone Star comes out on March the 6th. He's got a bunch of other tunes out. Get on Spotify, whatever streaming service you use, and check him out. Give him a follow on all the social media platforms as well. Big shout out to our friends from Surfside. No bubbles, no troubles. For more on us, visit raisedrowdy.com. For my man Austin, I'm Matt Burrill. This has been Outside the Round.
I ain't never been the kind for staying in one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a girl I love. Only got a couple tricks on my sleeve. They usually just make them leave. So if